On February 13, 2017, the quiet town of Delphi, Indiana, a community of fewer than 3,000 residents nestled among historic trails and rural landscapes, was thrust into a nightmare that would resonate far beyond its borders. Two teenage girls, Abigail Abby, Joyce Williams, 13, and Liberty Libby Roselyn German, 14, were brutally murdered near the Monon High Bridge, a once picturesque landmark that became synonymous with one of the most haunting unsolved cases in recent American history. The arrest of Richard Allen in 2022 and his subsequent conviction in 2024 appeared to bring closure, yet doubts persist, keeping Delphi on edge and the case firmly in the public consciousness. The day of the murders. Abby and Libby were best friends and eighth graders at Delphi Community Middle School. Both were active, vibrant teens. Abby loved photography and animals, while Libby excelled in sports and band. On that unseasonably warm February day, with schools closed, the girls seized the opportunity to explore the Monon High Bridge Trail, part of the Delphi Historic Trail System. At 1:35 p.m., Libby's older sister, Kelsey German, dropped them off near the trailhead on County Road 300 North, east of the Hoosier Heartland Highway. The plan was simple: hike, enjoy the scenery, and be picked up later by Libby's father, Derek German. Libby posted a Snapchat photo of Abby walking across the rickety, abandoned railroad bridge at around 2:07 p.m., capturing a moment of innocence that would soon turn sinister. When the girls failed to appear at the designated pickup spot, their families grew concerned. By 5:30 p.m., with no sign of them, they reported Abby and Libby missing. A search began that evening, involving family, friends, and local authorities. But darkness forced a pause until the next morning. On February 14th, Valentine's Day, the grim discovery was made. The bodies of Abby and Libby were found roughly half a mile from the bridge, near the north bank of Deer Creek. Autopsies later revealed that both girls had their throats slashed. Libby was found naked and covered in blood, while Abby was fully clothed, wearing some of Libby's garments. The evidence: a voice and a figure. What set the Delphi case apart from many others was the evidence captured by Libby's smartphone. As the girls crossed the Monon High Bridge, they noticed a man following them. Showing remarkable presence of mind, Libby began recording. The footage, though grainy, showed a white man in a blue jacket, jeans, and a cap or hood, walking along the bridge, a figure who would come to be known as Bridge Guy. The audio, released to the public on February 22, 2017, captured his voice saying "down the hill," a phrase that became the chilling hallmark of the case. Additional stills and a brief video clip of the man were later shared, along with composite sketches based on witness descriptions. But his identity remained elusive. The investigation: a cold case and a breakthrough. For over 5 years, the Delphi murders remained unsolved, a source of frustration for law enforcement and anguish for the victims' families. ISP Superintendent Doug Carter held periodic press conferences, urging the public to come forward with information. But the killer seemed to have vanished. The investigation explored various angles, including a fake social media profile, Anthony_Shots, linked to a man in Miami County, though this lead fizzled out. Theories abounded. Some speculated a serial killer, others a local with intimate knowledge of the trails. Meanwhile, Delphi residents lived with unease, wondering if the murderer walked among them. The breakthrough came in September 2022, almost by chance. Kathy Shank, a volunteer receptionist assisting with the investigation, was sorting through a box of old tip sheets when she stumbled upon a note from Richard Allen. Dated February 16, 2017, it stated that Allen had been on the Monon High Bridge Trail between 1:30 and 3:30 p.m. on the day of the murders, a time frame aligning with the girls' disappearance. Initially interviewed and cleared in 2017, Allen's tip had been misfiled and forgotten. Shank flagged it for detectives, sparking a renewed focus on the 50-year-old Delphi resident, a married father and pharmacy technician at the local CVS. On October 13, 2022, police re-interviewed Allen and searched his home, seizing a Sig Sauer P226 pistol. Ballistic tests linked the unspent bullet from the crime scene to Allen's gun through unique markings, though the defense later contested the reliability of this comparison. Allen admitted to being on the trail that day, claiming he was checking a stock ticker on his phone, but denied any involvement. On October 31st, 2022, he was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of felony murder while attempting to commit kidnapping. The small town, long desperate for answers, held its breath as the case moved toward trial. The trial, Richard Allen in the spotlight. Richard Allen's trial began on October 18, 2024 in Carroll County, with jurors selected from Allen County to minimize bias due to the case's intense local coverage. Presided over by Special Judge Fran Gull, the proceedings were marked by emotional testimony, legal twists, and contentious evidence. Prosecutor Nick McAllen built the case around 3 pillars: the bridge guy video, the bullet, and Allen's alleged confessions. The prosecution played an extended 43-second clip of Libby's video, showing the man following the girls and ordering them down the hill. Witnesses, including Rayleigh Voorhees and Sarah Carbaum, testified to seeing a man resembling Bridge Guy on the trail, one describing him as muddy, bloody, and unfriendly. The bullet evidence was central but controversial. ISP lab tests claimed that the unspent round matched Allen's pistol, yet defense experts argued the comparison between an unfired bullet and fired casings was flawed, likening it to apples and oranges. Allen's defense team, led by Andrew Baldwin, didn't dispute that he was Bridge Guy, but argued he wasn't the killer, floating an alternative theory of a ritualistic murder tied to Odinism, a Norse pagan sect with white supremacist ties. They pointed to the sticks arranged on Libby's body and the lack of DNA linking Allen to the scene. Allen's mental state became a focal point. While in solitary confinement at Westville Correctional Facility, he reportedly made over 60 incriminating statements, including confessions to his wife, mother, and a psychologist, Dawn Walla. He claimed he intended to sexually assault the girls, but panicked when a van, later identified as homeowner Brad Weber's, passed by, leading him to kill them instead. However, the defense highlighted Allen's severe depression and psychosis, exacerbated by 13 months in isolation, suggesting these confessions were unreliable. A neuropsychologist testified to his mental decline, while the prosecution countered with a trooper who identified Allen's voice as matching Bridge Guy. After 17 days of testimony and 4 days of deliberation, the jury convicted Allen on November 11, 2024, on all counts: 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of felony murder. On December 20th, Judge Gull sentenced him to 130 years, 65 years per victim, to be served consecutively, calling it one of the most heinous cases she'd encountered. Allen was stoic, but his wife, Kathy, vowed, "This isn't over," hinting at an appeal, lingering doubts in a community's healing. Despite the conviction, questions linger. The absence of DNA evidence, the contested bullet analysis, and Allen's mental health issues fuel skepticism among some observers and true crime enthusiasts. His defense's Odinism theory, though dismissed by the court, resonates with those who see inconsistencies in the narrative. Posts on X and media reports reflect a divided sentiment. Some hail the verdict as justice. Others question if the real killer remains free. The motive, too, remains unclear. Was it a spontaneous crime or something more calculated? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more content.